Hey, what's up, guys? Yo, let's get into it. Diddy settled with Cassie because he was trying to avoid criminal charges. And get this, he might not have avoided it. Baby, karma has finally come to Diddy. What's done in the dark is now coming to the light. And baby, it ain't looking too good for Sean Diddy Combs. Let's get into this, right? First of all, there were rumors that the reason why he settled is because he didn't want criminal charges. Now, a lot of people laughed at that until you look at the lawyers that Diddy actually signed. First, let's talk about the lawyers, because that's the first thing. Then we're going to get into the Lipstick Alley stuff. It's a hoot, I promise. And then we're going to get two legal experts analysis on how his actions make him look even more guilty and like he is trying to avoid criminal charges. Because if you guys don't know, Cassie filed a civil case. I know Jason Lee jumped in, right? He is literally for sale. If anybody has like run over kittens, please call Jason Lee. He will literally try to rehab your PR. Jason Lee did this post where this is what actually got me going, okay? Jason Lee, just follow me on this. It's all going to connect, but you need to know this. So Jason Lee sent this post that said, everybody who's been a juror in court of public opinion can shut the H up. I've been blank, and there ain't no settlement in the world that would stop me from prosecuting a person who violated me. To which low vibrational hood rat of 2023 said, Jason, it's a civil case. Really quick, you guys. If you don't know what a civil case is when another individual takes you to court. There's only three things that can happen. They can either compel you to do something, they can put an injunction to stop you from doing something, or they can demand that you pay something. At the very least, no matter what they do, you are never in danger of getting anything on your criminal record or of going to jail. However, when the state or federal government, the DA, the AG, or a U.S. attorney prosecutes you, there's only two things that could happen. Three, yes, you could end up having to pay money through restitution fines, but that's not why everybody's scared of it. It's because for a misdemeanor, it means that you will go to jail. You can be sentenced with some type of jail time or probation for up to a calendar year. And a felony is a calendar year and 1 day up to wherever. Okay, that's what it is. You cannot persecute somebody criminally. Now, you can make a complaint to the police department. The police investigate. You can make a complaint to the DA and the DA investigates. But once the DA decides to actively pursue charges, a normal person has nothing to do with it. You can cooperate, but sometimes the DA will be like, we got enough information. We don't even need you to cooperate. We're still prosecuting. We see this in a lot of domestic violence cases where people are like, no, I love him, I love her, don't prosecute. And the DA or the U.S. Attorney's Office is like, we've already started these wills. We don't need you. Because at the end of the day, they're not trying to get justice for one person. They are trying to take away menace to society. A DA or U.S. attorney will be like, okay, so you don't care if your loved one pops you in the face or does the A-town stomp in your face. But as the people that we cannot have people that do the A-town stomp on people's face when they get upset. So we're going to have to prosecute you because he is a menace or she is a menace to society. You see how that goes? So, right? For Jason Lee to say that, it's stupid. And I actually think it's intellectually dishonest. Jason Lee is running for city council. He used to be a union organizer. He is very intelligent, but he knows what he's doing. He's playing both sides from the middle. But why? Who cares? Let's get into this, right? Okay. So let's get back into this thing about the reason he settled so quick is because TMZ released an article. There was a secret investigation going on and they wanted other victims, right? Because before that, Puppy was like, she tried to shake me down for 30 million. Cassie never said it was 30 million. She wanted way more. Diddy's the one that threw out the $30 million number, right? So anyway, he was like, yo, I ain't settling for nothing until that TMZ article linked saying, oh my God, he's being secretly investigated. And then magically, an hour later, TMZ was like, oh, we messed up our words. There's no secret investigation. And I'm like, How do you have somebody going on record saying there's a locked case, and now you're saying that you just misunderstood? I said, something tells me there is an investigation. Puffy heard that, and all of a sudden things changed, because listen to this, right? Even when Cassie bought these claims to Puffy, right? Diddy's attorney was Benjamin Brofman. Do you know who Benjamin Brofman is? He is an expert in criminal cases. He served as the head of Manhattan-based law firm Brofman and Associates. The law firm states that he's been practicing since the 80s for different cases and was previously employed at the New York County District Attorney's Office. He's fought for well-known cases over the years, including businessmen, celebrities, and others. He has the highest experience in criminal cases in New York compared to any other attorney. Diddy did not hire the best attorney for sexual, the best attorney to fight. No, he hired the best criminal attorney. Why would you hire a criminal attorney? Why would you hire a criminal attorney for something like this? Why? Because they are saying that he was voted the best criminal defense lawyer in New York, and he's received a Clarence Dower Award for Distinguished Practitioner from New York State Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. He is the bitty best. So why would he do all that? Well, there's a few reasons. Let's get into this, okay? All right, so let me just pull this up real quick. Sorry, guys. Can you believe this mess? Diddy, and you know that Aubrey and them are actually bringing charges now, and there's other women. I made a video about that. Go ahead and check my page. And literally, Carisha low-key dry snitched on Diddy from old tweets, basically confirming everything Cassie said. Go watch that video. But anyway, get this, right? Where are we at? Let me pull this up. Okay, so Joe Briggs Esquire on Twitter, he's also on Instagram. He's a very distinguished attorney, weighed in on this. He said, there's a very high likelihood that negotiations on settlement have been happening for a while. They don't have to and are usually not public. Filing and entering a case into record is another level to push both sides closer to settlement, especially if one side is dragging. The practice of law is often about personal notions of justice being balanced against the population of, balanced against the possibility of justice in a greater sense. And a good lawyer will advise you on when you've reached the point of putting up or moving on. The problem is, most folks haven't seen great lawyers. When we're practicing and in cases with complex issues, the research and building of a case file alone can take years. Drafting responses, asking the right questions, making contact with the other side, it's a skill and art that requires attention to detail. Cassie's lawyer, if you don't know, Wigmore, is huge on that. Cassie got the best of the best lawyers she could. Now, they said, lawyers you see on billboards and hear on radio commercials have a place in the system, but there are other lawyers out here practicing and moving in cases that involve real issues. And that's what happened with the Diddy and Cassie case. Again, Diddy's lawyer, it's not that he was outclassed, because he is the best of the best. It's the fact that everybody got it wrong. Diddy is trying to protect against A, right? And everybody else thinks it's B. Diddy was more, it wasn't the money. Because Diddy was like, I'll fight you. It was only when there became a chance that it would become criminal that he woke up and within 24 hours liquidated assets. Within 24 hours, allegedly liquidate. Maybe he had it in his bank account, who knows, to actually pay for. Now, get this, it gets deeper. Joe says, and somewhere in the files held by his counsel, this is Puffy's counsel, we will see documents showing how they encouraged Diddy to settle before the case was filed, and how he rejected their advice in writing, and how when they settled, that it was in the ballpark of where they recommended. Why is that important? Because why wouldn't Diddy take this to court? This case could have dragged out for years. It's because the more it dragged out, it wasn't just other people coming out. Because you've seen the Kardashians. They will fight for $5. People that have money, they have insurance that pays for this. It was the criminal aspect. We're getting into that scared them. Another person said, I think Diddy was stuck on a number and refused to pay more because it was very bad strategically to allow this lawsuit to reach the public, only to settle immediately after. Another person said he's just old and stubborn. I wonder if someone sat him down and did the math of how much worse it'll get going to trial, including how much more he'd have to pay his lawyers to chase. They said anywhere around 30 million would be the cheapest alternative. Again, she sued Sony Pictures. Joe said very much so arrogance costs. And somewhere in the files, okay. But there's more. Hold on. Another person said, let me just pull this up. This is where it gets into the criminal. And this is what they said that Puffy was actually scared about. And he should have been, because baby, you ain't gonna believe this. Genghis Kells, who's also a prominent lawyer, said one of those companies, he said one of those companies will spend $1 million. He's just talking about one of them, just Bad Boy Records, Sony, whatever, will spend $1 million to defend a $5,000 claim to prove that they are not the ones. Because that's the thing. When you let people know that you will settle easy or that you will pay up, people will file lawsuits, some real, some frivolous. But at the end of the day, they're like, okay, this is going to be light work, no reaction, light work, no reaction. So sometimes you got to go hard to show everybody I'm not the one or two. If you are coming with me, even if you're right, you are going to have to fight for the rest of your life. Genghis says, I'm not going to tell too much of my business. I know the business. And trust me, this lawyer, this Esquire is legit. He said, I'm not going to tell too much of my business, but I know that one of the companies named will take a suit to court on principle with no issue. You can claim extortion, but when you claim extortion but still pay rather than going to court, nobody offers that kind of money to settle who was innocent, especially not when you have the means to drag her through court. Those execs did not want their names and actions exposed and to be dragged into any criminal charges, so the phones were ringing and the cash was moving. Things like paying for hotel footage and booking her into rooms for weeks at a time, making Cassie have blank with other people would all have come out in discovery. And a lot of those people may have also been subject to criminal charges depending. It was about to be a mess. Calling people to testify to what they know. Baby, the corporate suites were scrambling. Nobody was trying to be the next Weinstein. That dude thought he could Hollywood his way. Weinstein thought he could Hollywood his way through court. And we see how that turned out. All those assistants and managers and agents got named, etc. That's what he was worried about. So when you talk about discovery, let's wrap this up. What was one of the things that they said? Puffy's lawyer was like, yo, we got, like, it's a wrap, criminal charges. Because here's the thing, Cassie made a lot of claims, but it was so many years ago. They were like, what's the odds that she can actually follow through or bring any proof? What's the odds? What's the odds? Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Oh, I'll tell you the odds. The odds are looking good. And the odds are looking like. Well, I'll tell you, the odds are looking like Puffy was too reckless, wild and free, wilding out in the streets of New York City and thought nobody was actually taking names. Baby, believe it or not, Puffy got jammed up just being sloppy. Listen, I know this video is getting a little too long. I'm going to hit you with the other video. I just want to get the evidence. But y'all, you're not going to believe it. Listen, hit that like, subscribe. You know what it does. Or just check back. The video will be up, I swear to God, before you go to bed tonight. All right? Bye.